Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. This week we are giving you a tour of our sailboat home. This is a Pearson 530, so let's go take a look. We're an Australian family that set off on an adventure of a lifetime. We hope these little videos make you smile and inspire you to chase your dreams. Subscribe to join us and our travels as we share our life on the sea.
This is Catalpa 2, a 1981 Pearson 530 sailboat, a classic 53-foot vessel with a 15-foot beam that has been our home since 2022. We bought her in San Diego, California, and have done a lot of work fixing her up. Today we are giving you a tour of our floating home, so welcome aboard.
Let's go take a look. So this is our saloon area. This is where we sit and eat. We can fit, we've had about 10 people around that table very comfortably, which is really nice. There is so much storage on this boat. So under this stool we have a lot of storage where we keep our wet weather gear and some bags and our big drone. And then underneath all of these seats is storage, so there's so much storage for a passage and like being able to stock the boat up. As a house you have a pantry, that is our pantry. Also underneath the chairs also lift up and we have lots of food underneath as well.
Where I'm standing is access to our water tanks. If I move into the centre there's access to our fuel tank. And then if I move over again, there's access to another water tank through here.
Our little projector for movie nights that is there. And we'll spin around and we have our screen so we can watch movies. Oh, on there. Behind me is more seating, which, I mean, someone could sleep here. It's big enough to be a bed as well. But behind here we have our water maker membranes, and then under here we have some storage. I think there's tools under there, and we have some more things under there. There's storage under here, it goes all the way back. And this is our nav station area. This is a new addition since we were in the hard stand. We got a new freezer to go underneath. It is, how many litres, babe?
I don't know.
We don't know. It's a nice big size freezer and it's been really good to have extra. We know from our old boat we had an extra chest freezer and it was super handy. So that's our freezer. So we have our Seawater Pro control panel for our water maker that is here. There is control panel for lots of things up here. So our radio, that's about it. We've got our Victron electrical situation. This is super handy so that we can monitor our batteries, see the load that it's using, and we're going to do another video showing you guys now because we've been back in the water with our new batteries, our water maker, and kind of living. We're going to show you guys and give you a rundown of what we've been using, how it's all working, and our electrical system. But I'll leave that up to Lee so I don't get any of that wrong. We've got so many little nooks and crannies on this boat that we can store so much stuff. We have a fridge with a little freezer. It's about fridge size, has a little freezer up the top. The more fridge space, the better. We like to have the option to be able to go off and be remote, so we stock the boat full of food for weeks on end. There's a cupboard there, we keep our mud water in there actually. This is our beautiful table that has a magical hole. Hopefully it's clean. It keeps all our cutlery inside. It's really great and it's so handy, but you know what? We put all that stuff on the table for dinner and if we haven't got that all out it's a little bit of annoying, but it's nice to have it. We'll go to the front of the boat now and we'll go past all the lovely names that have helped us here on our mast. The starboard side of the boat we have Taj's cabin. It's not very big. He did downgrade going from our other boat. He had the berth, the V berth, and now he has the side cabin because Bella got to choose, but he loves his little bed. There is actually a bunk underneath for a very small person, but he keeps that as storage. So moving forward, Bella has the V berth. Princess Bella in the very big room at the front. Nice, beautiful big hatch. So airy, and at the very front is our chain locker, so when we pull anchor all of the chain goes into that locker. So sometimes Bella will have to flake the chain. That's what comes with this room. Also underneath this bed is a lot of storage so that it lifts up. We've got sails for a lot of the boat spares and a lot of things under there. She's got a lot of room for a cupboard. She's got drawers and a cupboard down here. She is super happy with this room. to the port side of the boat, we also have a head and a shower. We have inside showers. Let's go take a look.
Oh, put your clothes back on, darling.
I know you. I've learnt to shower with my clothes on. This is their shower. It's nice and big, plenty of room. This is their bathroom. We replaced the sink taps when we were on the hard stand. We have electrical toilet. Lots of storage. There's storage behind the mirror, storage behind there.
Storage everywhere, darling.
Storage. Okay, what are we going to show them next, Moritai? Well, we go to the galley. Let's go to the galley.
Let's show Mora's litter box.
Where do we store your litter box?
What do you do with a cat on the boat that
We
needs to go to the
have
toilet?
not trained him to go to the toilet. We know that there's a lot of boat cats out there that go to the toilet on the toilet. We haven't done that. He has a litter box. You want to show him where it is? So we have his litter box down there. Next to his litter box, we have our first aid bag,
will be moved.
which we're going to move, but it's there at the moment. Underneath this step that is no longer a step, had a little accident. We keep Moritai's food, so there's a little bit more storage. Under that floor, we have our Dakota lithium batteries. We have 800 amp hours, 4 batteries that are 200 amp hours each, which keeps us self-sufficient. We are able to run our water maker and we have enough energy and power to do all the things. We also have a washing machine and we have a lot of luxuries on this boat. We've got an extra freezer, 2 fridges. We don't have to conserve our power as much as we used to before we had lithium batteries. It's been a huge game changer for us and making liveaboard life very luxurious. But let's head on into the galley. Alright, welcome to the galley. This is the kitchen, place where I spend a lot of time. Under here is where we have our main fridge, so it's a chest fridge. You can lift it up and you can turn it into a freezer and a fridge, but we've opted to make it one big fridge because we like having the space. And like I showed you before, we have a chest freezer over there, so we fill that with all of our frozen food. There's also a tiny little freezer in the other fridge, so we have plenty of space for storing food. And behind here in the cupboards is more pantry space, so lots of things back there. We have a nice big sink, lots of taps. This is our drinking water, this is the not drinking water, so this comes straight out of our tank. This runs through a filter. This is a little soap dispenser. Our herbs and spices are up here because I haven't got a spice rack being made yet, but I will have one very soon. And here we've got all of our cups and oils and more storage. Under here is our stove. So we have a 3-burner stovetop, and underneath we have a Force 10 oven. We also have a backup induction cooktop, so that if we run out of gas or we need to conserve gas because we won't be able to fill it up, we can cook with that. So during the day when the solar is like powering in, like now when the sun is beaming on the solar panels, we try and do a lot of either cooking or making water or doing all of the things that, you know, uses energy. That is our backup. In here, it's a pretty big cupboard. It's really messy, don't judge me guys. Appliances that I love to have on the boat and I feel is necessary for
What
me.
do you got in there, darling?
We have a Ninja blender. This is a blender, a food processor, and it also has like a NutriBullet thing on the setting. We have a spare blender, a NutriBullet, because we did have our Ninja, our first one got blown up by a power situation. Anyway, I won't go into that story, but we have a backup now because I did not like not having a blender. I also have an Instapot back there. You would notice, and a lot of people are always concerned, we do not have a microwave. I opt for all these appliances in there rather than a microwave because I've never really had one. I don't use it, so I would prefer to have all of those things. We also have a big KitchenAid back there, and and we have a lot of things that go onto the KitchenAid, like cheese graters when we're doing bulk cheese, and we've got an ice cream maker, and we've got pasta attachments that go on there. We love making everything from scratch. So when I'm in the kitchen, we have pasta, we make our pasta, I make our bread, we make as much as we can. We make ice cream now, and making things from scratch is what I love to do. And when we live on a boat, I have the time. So it is very, very nice to be able to have that luxury. So the kitchen has been prioritized around that, and I do use the oven a lot for baking and those things. We've talked about getting induction because it would free up, we would have like this whole big area of space. And Leah's nearly talked me into it a few times, but I don't know if I can part with my oven. I love cooking on gas, and I know it is safer to have induction. I'm just not a real big fan, and I know I'd get used to it. And you never know. It might come to that, but at the moment this is what we've opted for. So that's what we have. Under here I have all my pots and pans and cutlery drawers. Well, not cutlery, but you know, utensils. So we have our generator display here, a little switch to turn it on and off because this sucker draws battery, doesn't it, honey? But this is our control panel. If you want to turn everything off, this is where you do it. DC, AC. Lee will probably talk about that a little bit better, but we'll go into the bedroom.
Well, you missed the door there, darling.
Behind this door is a very, very wonderful situation. Look at this! This is Lee's pride and joy. If he needs a tool, all we have to do is open the door and get it for him. That's awesome. I'm gonna let him go in there with you because, you know, I might not get things right. We'll go back in here, and this is our bedroom. The aft cabin, the master suite, the luxurious of beds. We have a queen normal size mattress, normal size bed on our boat, which is insane and so great. Every day I wake up in here and I'm just so stoked. It's just amazing. So we have this great big spacious room with storage. We have clothes cupboards here each side. We've got all this stuff down here. I'm not going to open it because I did tidy up.
So it'll probably just fall out.
It'll fall out from there. Spear guns. Lots and lots of space.
What's that pole, darling?
This pole that our cat scratches on. Morita uses this to scratch. And Lee occasionally dances on there for me, so that's lovely. Anyway, behind this door we have a washing machine. Not only, like, not a RV washing machine or a boat washing machine. We got a full-blown house washing machine on board. It's next level amazing. I know how lucky I am. I know it's a luxury and you don't need it, but you know what? I lived on a boat, washing in a bucket. I lived on a boat with a little twin tub, and I'll take this one. I will say thank you very much. Give me that washing machine. It's so nice to be able to wash our sheets and our clothes and just do it from the boat and not have to wait till we're in port. Like I said, we love being self-sufficient because we love being remote and deciding we want to stay somewhere for weeks or months on end. We can. And this is a big upgrade. Anyway, we got this when we were in Puerto Penasco. We got it in Arizona, but we installed it in Penasco. So great. And doesn't use too much water, right? It's actually pretty water efficient. But what we do when we wash our clothes, we run our generator, we make water, and we do our washing. All smack bang together. In here, and it's massive. There's a nice big shower, and we have hot water. We have hot water, cold water. So we have a hot water unit, and we also, if it's cold, like it is a little bit cold at the moment, we put our hot water on when we're running our generator. So again, that is another big luxury that we haven't always had.
Storage. And our vanity here. That's about it, guys. Apart from the engine bay.
Alright, so we're going to go into this room now.
Welcome to the engine bay. This is our Victron wall pretty much. Starting from where Sarah is, we have two Raycor filters. They're our two Raycor ones for our primary engine, which is our Perkins 4236, which is to your left there. Next to that we have another Raycor. Well, it's not a Raycor, it's an Amazon knockoff Raycor, which is for our generator, which is a Pagaro 9000V, which I think it's a 9 kVA generator. So along here we have solar control switches so we can isolate our solar if we need to. We have a DC to DC charger, 30 amp, which throws the remaining power from our engine to our house bank. Here we have solar charge controllers. We have one for each panel. We have our Victron Lynx power bus bar shunt in the middle here, our Servo GX. We have multiple fuses. We have power outlets. We have a Victron 3000 watt multi-plus inverter. Beside that was the original inverter, which was a 5000 watt square wave inverter. I just left that there just in case we had problems with this. A little bit busy behind here at the moment. It's a bit of a mess. Still got a lot of the boatyard stuff just thrown up here. There is a workbench here. So we have a diesel heater, which was working last season. It needs to be serviced, but we don't intend on going anywhere cold in a hurry, so it'll probably stay on the service list for a while. We have an air conditioner, hot, cold, bit of a workbench here, holding tank behind there. So this boat is 110 volt, but we were lucky enough to get this for a carton of beer in the Penasco boatyard, and this is European, so it's 230 volts. But because we're 110, we had to add a Victron isolation transformer, which is 3600 watts. We have the best of both worlds here. We have 230 and 110. Here's our refrigeration unit for the fridge that is in the kitchen. Behind there I've got a little Dakota battery. It's our start battery for here. We've got air conditioner, raw water pumps. We have our Seawater Pro water maker, so I can service and access that in here. Underneath that is our washdown pump. So underneath the floor here, we have our raw water pump for the water maker. We have our pump here, which is our gulper style pump for our shower drain and sink waste. Have our primary water pump for the whole boat. And again, all this is just accessed from this one area, so it makes servicing or troubleshooting pretty straightforward. There's more storage under here where I'll keep water maker filters, some service equipment. The main access to 90% of wiring, batteries, you name it, is in here. Up here we have a Victron battery charger. That's pretty much just a battery charger for the start battery. It's a bit of overkill, but if we do have a flat battery, I can always just run it through the inverter, charge that up, so it's never a problem if we get a flat start battery. So I have a sea chest. It's sort of good and bad. Smack bang in the middle of this area. It would probably make, without it in the road here, to probably make access to the engine a little bit easier. But it also, the goal of this is to have all your valves in the one spot. So isolation is pretty simple. You can pretty much turn off all the valves to everything without lifting up floors, going behind cupboards and so on. And you have one hole in the bottom of your boat, and then you have all these valves that are on here would generally be through holes throughout the rest of the boat. So it's a way of minimizing having so many through holes. It's not too bad. It's, again, like I say, I like the concept of it. I just don't like the fact that sort of the access to the engine's not as good, but it is what it is. Everything's a compromise on a boat, guys. Up here we have our power board, which is behind here. If I unscrew that, I have access to our switch panel that's opposite the sink in the kitchen, like a shop vac, and I just mounted it there, and we pretty much run that out when we want to have a bit of a tidy up. And we have air conditioners behind there. There's 3 air conditioners. This here is a great little addition, because this is the pump to drain my oil from the engine and the gearbox. So I can turn a valve here and a valve here, depending on if I want the engine or the gearbox, and it pumps it out. And then when I go to change my oil filter is right there, as opposed to being on the side of the engine, down where generally it's hard to reach. It's just access right there and dump your oil, turn the switch, and it pumps it out, and it's generally turns a job that could take you an hour into a 5-minute job. So that's the gist of what's going on in here. It's still a work in progress. There's still lots of little changes and upgrades to do in here, but it's very workable and serviceable the way we've got it up until now. And yeah, it won't be long until it's spot on. That's the way I like it. It's a great little engine bay, but for now, let's get out of this room and get up on deck and give you a look around up top. All right, guys, so this is our cockpit. We are a 53-foot center cockpit. As the wording is, center cockpit. This is more so to the center of the boat as opposed to having the helm aft. I don't know, I like it. It's quite a comfy little cockpit. Got a little bit of seating for around here. It's got a canvas Dodger, canvas Bimini. On top of that's our solar. Two big panels anyway above here. Got a Lumitec touch light, red and white. You're at the helm now. This is where the wheel is for the boat. Our navigational equipment, in this case it is a Raymarine Axiom, which is our radar and chart plotter. Got depth and wind and autopilot. We put our phones here and we have our satellite imagery on those. Have our compass and our forward reverse. Down that end there's an anchor switch too. I can actually drop and retrieve the anchor from the helm position here. Underneath me, this is huge, this locker. It actually goes right back to the outside of the boat out here, and it's quite deep, where we can store a lot of our goodies as far as fishing gear, bosun's chairs, dive tanks, hookers. It's massive. So there's more storage under here, which in this case we pretty much leave our thongs and shoes in there as we hop in the boat. We have our Lamar 65 winches here, 2 speeds. We have some more winches up here. Dodger here that we can't really see out of, so we've got the middle wound up at the moment. So that is definitely on the priority list. Yeah, there's lots of clutches, more winches, obviously our companionway access to go downstairs. Below, got engine controls there, speakers, switches. There's lots going on in here.
We have a fridge here. It doesn't work, right? It
I
does.
think it needs regassing. It did work at one stage, but yeah, there's pretty much that whole area in there is another refrigeration unit. So
It's pretty much a beer fridge.
let's jump out of the cockpit and we'll move up to the bow and work our way back. Starting forward, we have our twin bow rollers, which as you would have seen in some of the earlier episodes, I had to modify them. They were in really close and I've pulled them out. Coming back from that, we have our beautiful new Schaefer furler, which is our furling system for our main head sail. Moving back from that, we have our Maxwell windlass, which is a dual windlass. We can work 2 anchors, so we have our primary one and we have our backup one. Coming back from that, we have our stay sail. We are a stay sail ketch. And then working back from there along the deck, you'll see ventilation and hatch access for pulling sails out of the front V-berth. So if we need a spinnaker, for instance, we can pull it out through that hatch. It's massive. And then back there we have good ventilation for Taj's room. He has a hatch. Generally there's a couple of bean bags up there for lazing around. Also we have our Maxwell foot pedals, so we can move the windlass up and down from here. We can lower and raise the anchor. We run I think it's a 120 pound Rockner anchor. We run a 10mm chain. We do have a bit of a problem here because this Gypsy, it's actually designed for a larger chain, so it does slip. That's why we've got to have a block here at the moment until we can source another chain wheel. We don't want to use the size chain that it is designed for because it's absolutely massive. I just think it's not necessary. I don't even know if our locker would have enough space to carry the chain that we like carrying. We like to have around about that 100 meter mark of chain. Okay, so we're at the main mast here. This line here is attached to our stay sail. And there's a track here. We have a self-tacking stay sail. It allows for pretty much when you're tacking it, self-tacking as it says it is. Moves from one side to the other as opposed to having 2 sheets running aft. So coming off our main mast, we have the boom, and in this case the boom is furling. So we have a furling mainsail. We're not sure if we're a fan of it yet. We've had Precision make new sails and we've run new lines and new sheets, and it seems to be working good, so time will tell. We did put a new boom vang on there to support it. It didn't, when we purchased the boat, it didn't have a solid boom vang, and these in boom furlers are designed to have solid kicker there. We have all new beautiful hammer marine rigging, turnbuckles. Schaefer Marine manufactured all our chain plates. They done a Mickey Mouse job, and then we put on all of our new hammer stays, and yeah, really happy with it. It's come up really good. The mast was originally painted white. We chose at the time just to put a Nylac coating over the mast as opposed to repainting it. It's come up really well too. We have Lumitec lights on the spreaders. Pretty much everything from top to bottom on the mast has been gone over, replaced a lot of the hardware and bolts, and still a little bit of fine tuning to do. We need to sort out a better track system for our spinnaker pole, which is broken, and that's another whole issue. But anyway, looking after the main there, we've got 2 more hatches which open up and let good ventilation into the saloon area. So not only did we got beautiful new precision sails, we've also got 99% of all our sheets are all new from Precision too. On a yacht, you have 2 types of rigging. You have your standing rigging, and in this case, standing rigging is the cables that hold the mast up, and then you have the running rigging, which is all your lines and sheets that can your control lines and the lines that connect to the sails and so on. Pretty much got a whole makeover with new standard rigging and new running rigging and new sails. So up top, she's looking pretty sweet. The aft end of the boat, we have solar up top, surfboard rack, davits that we lift our tender up onto, and below that we have like a swim platform, something we can access the water and access for in and out of the tender when we're provisioning. Forward of that, we've got a bit of seating. We've got a lazarette under here that's got storage. I've just got lines on there at the moment. We have barbecue here. Alright, this is the gas locker. I've got 2 20-litre gas tanks there. We have our freshwater deck wash that we pull out if we need to rinse anything down. We keep a few bits and pieces in there. Gaff and all little things. That's about it for the locker. So this is our mizzen and mizzen boom. The mizzen boom is also a furling boom. So the sail rolls up inside here. We have our hatch just here, which is pretty much our breather for our aft cabin. Like I said before, we have 1 solar panel up here, and we have 2 more. They're 485 watt bifacial solar panels times 3. So we've got rod holders off the side, which we use for trolling. We also use hand lines. We've mounted the Starlink up there. So off the davits at the back of this boat, we've chosen to go with high field. We like our high fields. Bigger the better, and in our case the 3.6 is working out perfectly for us at the moment. And that mounts up here on the back when we're underway as a ripper of a little tender. It's got a 15, but we'd probably like to go a 25 on there when we get a chance. Okay guys, thanks for coming visiting our home, and that concludes our boat tour.
We just want to say thank you for joining us. Patreon will have an extended version of this video, so if there is, you do want to see an extended version, I don't know if it's just going to have cut footage or what it's going to have in there, but it'll be an extended version for our patrons.
Film the shower section. Sarah was actually having a shower and things like that, you know.
We didn't have an OnlyFans. Anyway, we just want to say thank you for joining us, and if you like that video, please remember to subscribe.
Alright guys.
And press like.
Like and subscribe. Until next time, take care.
Alright, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye. Storage. There's so much storage. There's drawers there. Doobie Whacker.
Display.
Display.
This is where I play fireman. Thongs. Not this one.